Hello and welcome to My Green Montgomery. I'm Susan Stark. There's a good reason for everyone to want a green Montgomery County. For some, it's to preserve our natural beauty. For others, it's to reduce our carbon footprint and live more sustainably. And still for others, it's about saving green money every day. Whatever your reason, we'll tell you how you can find information and resources to achieve your green goals. In this episode, we're going to find out how your business can become green certified. We're also going to get some tips about improving your garden and the importance of adding trees to your landscape. But first, we're going to discover how you can increase the beauty of your property, decrease stormwater runoff, and earn rebates for installing a rain garden, rain barrel, or other conservation landscaping techniques. Most rainfall on urban surfaces such as roofs, driveways, roads, parking lots, and patios end up in stormwater runoff. In contrast, rainfall on natural surfaces like forests and meadows soak into the ground where it can replenish groundwater and recharge streams.
The Rainscapes program is pitched at the individual, so the government does a lot of big stormwater ponds and other retrofits along roadways, like Arcola Avenue has got a retrofit that's going to treat some of the water before it goes into the storm drain. But what can the individual homeowner do? You can put in a rainscape, and these are multiple benefit solutions. They control the water, they help it soak in, but they also provide a lot of beauty and a lot of projects around the home that can enhance your property. Most people are just learning about how to do this and how they want to do the right thing for the environment. So how can they do it? And so we give them the information. And then on top of that, we have the rebate program, which provides some incentives to cost share for people that want to do things at home.
There are several everyday gardening practices that control stormwater runoff from your yard, like using organic or natural fertilizers or pesticides for a healthy yard so chemicals stay out of our waterways. Keep leaves and other yard trimmings out of the storm drains by collecting trim for composting, or check the leaf collection schedule from your community at mygreenmontgomery.org. Also, try to grass cycle by leaving grass clippings right on your lawn.
We have 9 different types of rebate projects actually, but the things like a rain garden or changing your turf out for native plantings which support our pollinators. You might think about a green roof, or you could do permeable pavement as a retrofit where you're replacing your driveway when you have to replace it anyway. Rain barrels, cisterns, dry wells, there are lots of different ways, and you don't have to do it all in one piece. You can do it as a series of years. So in late May, we have a conservation landscaping workshop. You can find the link to it on our webpage. It's offered here at Brookside Gardens, and it costs $10. At that workshop, we talk about watershed health, things you can do in your landscape to decompact your lawn, to replace your lawn with native plantings, to support our native butterflies and birds, other pollinators. And then we also give you a property map, which includes the topography. We talk about drainage issues on your property. There are many people that want to solve drainage issues, and conservation landscapes are one way to do it. So for $10, it's a pretty good deal, and we can take 40 people each day. So a total of 80, and there's room, so I hope people sign up.
To find out more about the Rainscapes program and the different projects you can do at your home or office, go to rainscapes.org. Coming up, we're going to find out what you can do to grow your own garden and increase the native landscaping in your yard.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Welcome back to My Green Montgomery. I'm here at Brookside Gardens, where Phil Normandy is joining us to tell us what tips we need to enhance our gardening attempts. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Susan. It's a pleasure to be here.
So tell us, what should we be doing this time of year with our garden?
Well, this is a tricky time of year. It's a little late for some of the really early spring stuff. It's a little bit early to be putting out our summer plants.
So I should not be planting any tomatoes and basils and...
It's probably not completely safe right now.
Even just at seed stage?
Oh, seed stage is okay, but it's so cold right now, nothing's going to germinate. Remember that a lot of our summer vegetable plants and crops are heat lovers. They really perform best in midsummer. Just think about your tomatoes and ripening and so forth. And right now, today at least, it's quite cold, and we are in for a very cool week. So I would say it's probably not safe to put anything out until after the 1st of May. I know you're seeing them in the garden centers, and they're big and they're bushy, and we had a couple of 80-degree days, and it's very tempting to go out there and stuff them in the ground. But just to be on the safe side, I think I'd wait till after May 1st, which is technically our frost-free date.
Okay, and what are the most important things we should do once we do get our plants and we do want to start planting them? I guess the soil is the first thing.
Yeah, if you're planting in an established bed, you just want to turn the soil, loosen it, add compost or other organic matter if you can that keeps the soil loose and makes it retain moisture, so you don't have to water as much.
With nutrients as well, right?
It is. It's good it provides some nutrients, and it binds up any other nutrients that you might be putting on in the form of fertilizers. During dry periods, starting in May, the soil can dry out very quickly, and so you want to provide about an inch of water a week to these plants to get them going until they get the roots out into the soil. And when they get the roots into the soil, then they're a little more aggressive about finding water than they were when they were just in a little plug.
Like when they're small and they're in their little black containers, how deep should they go in the ground? Should it stay about the same level?
Same level. Very good point. Yeah, don't overbury your plants. I know you can with tomato plants if they're a little leggy because they'll form roots, but in general, if you plant too deeply, it's just sort of suffocating the plant. So keep them at the same level that they were in the pot.
And do you have to immediately water them once you put them in the ground?
Absolutely, you must, because you've already disturbed those roots and you've taken them out of their soil, and so a good drink is the best insurance against wilting.
How important is it to have a lot of plants and trees in our landscape?
I think it's very important because in any urban area, deforestation from building is continuing, of course. And while trees that are left behind are still growing, we're having a net loss. And so any place where we can plant and have room to plant anything that produces oxygen, the better off we are with our greenhouse gas problem. You can help by putting out, if you don't have room for large trees, you can put more shrubs. So it's the net number of leaves where the oxygen is actually made is the important thing for cleansing the environment.
Okay, and when it comes to planting our trees, is there anything I should know about that?
Yes, there is. Trees can be planted best when they're dormant with the leaves off, and that's when the ground is cool and so forth. And so if you're buying a tree that's been dug out of the ground at a nursery, it's called balled and burlap, usually has a burlap bag around it. It's best to plant those in March, April, before they start growing actively. You can still continue to plant them, but it's considered to be a fall or a spring activity. For things that are grown in pots, you can plant them almost any time because you're not sacrificing a lot of roots. You're just taking them out of the pot, spreading the roots, and planting them and watering them. However, the later it gets into summer, the more care they're going to need to get them established, a lot more care to water and so forth. But right now, the garden centers are full of fresh plant material, and it's quite tempting to go out and make your selection now.
Well, I know a lot of farmers are worried about the warmer weather because a lot of their plants were starting to bud earlier than usual. So it's been
crazy. Some things were 4 weeks ahead.
Right.
We should be in peak tulip time, and they're already finished here.
So even though it's cold for us, it's actually good for our plants.
It's good. It slows them down. They sort of got this giant jump when it was 80 degrees, and it wasn't good for them.
Well, thank you very much for all of your tips.
Oh, you're certainly welcome.
And for more information and tips for your garden, go to brooksidegardens.org. Up next, we're going to tell you how your business can take steps to be green and get certified. We'll be right back.
Here's your chance to save money and help the environment. Bring your reusable bag when you shop and you'll save 5 cents for every store bag you don't need. Retailers in Montgomery County charge 5 cents for the plastic or paper bags they provide. Why? Because plastic bags are the biggest single source of stream and waterway litter, causing pollution and flooding. And every year, Montgomery County spends $3 million on cleanup. So do yourself and the environment a favor. Bring your reusable bag when you shop. You'll fight litter and keep the change.
Montgomery County, Maryland Green Business Certification Program is designed to recognize businesses and other entities that have taken voluntary steps to protect, preserve, and improve the environment. Earning a Green Business Certification indicates that the business is part of an innovative leadership movement to green business operations and help transition to a sustainable future.
The program currently is focused on office-based businesses, and it's about day-to-day operations. So in a sense, it's a complement to LEED certification. LEED, of course, focuses on buildings and major systems. Ours is really about cultural change and day-to-day operations and policies. And it's divided into 7 sections. It's an application with 260 actions, ranging from organizational commitment, stormwater management, energy conservation, environmentally responsible procurement, et cetera, et cetera. And based on your size, if you're small and you lease space versus whether you're large and own and occupy your space, so you have more latitude to make the changes, it's anywhere from about 60 actions to 120 actions. Those could be little actions or very significant actions. Most of them are cost neutral, or will actually save you money. I mean, sure, there are things on the application like, install a green roof, which definitely has significant capital costs. But those are, those are optional. And then we have a few required actions, but none of those required actions are really going to cost you a significant amount.
The application process to become a green certified business is designed to provide each business with the flexibility to pursue a wide variety of measures.
Yeah, I think certainly familiarize yourself with the website. There's a lot of interesting reading. There's a resource guide, which is really useful. And actually, it's embedded within the application. So if you pull up the application, you'll see that certain actions are highlighted in green. If you click on those, it'll take you immediately to a resource guide that'll explain, why is this action important and how do I go about implementing this action? So start there. Don't be overwhelmed. It's a lengthy application, but I think as you get into it and get some support through a green team and create a survey so that you're getting some bright, fresh ideas from your employees and you're also getting buy-in, you'll see that it's a very uplifting process.
Many local companies have seen the value of participating in green practices and have taken advantage of the Green Business Certification.
We didn't go into it looking for a cost benefit, but what we've seen on the back end is that there is a cost benefit. One of the biggest money-saving ideas that we've had was to switch everything over to printing double-sided automatically. And I think a lot of people just started thinking more about printing in cutback altogether. So we went from, a couple of boxes of paper every week to, a couple of reams. So we've really cut back on the paper usage, which has resulted in cost savings. And we weren't looking for that to happen. So it was an unexpected benefit.
As far as future initiatives, we would love to continue to do anything that we can to help the environment. And the other nice thing about going green is we've met and had the opportunity of meeting so many other businesses that are green, and so it allows us to learn a lot more about what we can continue to do. We've had some functions at our branches where we've invited all of the companies and clients that we've met that also have that same goal. That's been great.
If you're interested in the Green Business Certification Program and would like more information, go to mcgreenbiz.org. Well, that's our show. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. If you'd like information about any of our topics on today's show or to find more green projects, go to mygreenmontgomery.org, your guide to living a green life in Montgomery County.
You may have already heard that Pepco and soon BG&E will be installing new meters called smart meters for all customers in Maryland. Pepco has recently begun installations in Montgomery County and they'll continue through 2012. You will receive information from your utility before they exchange your meter, which you should review carefully. This information helps explain the features of the new smart meters and when those features will be available.